Would you believe if told that certain traits unique to you are the product of certain foods your mom ate while she was pregnant with you? If you find this hard to believe, it wouldn't be absurd. This is because just about everyone knows they are a product of the genes inherited from their parents. So, what are the chances that where our parents lived, the food they ate, and other peculiarities of their environment could alter the structure of their genes, leading to the development of new traits and attributes in us? Well, according to research, this is very possible. Although not fully understood, it's a phenomenon studied in an entirely standalone branch of genetics called epigenetics. Epigenetics is a branch of genetics that might provide compelling evidence in the debates surrounding the influence of environmental elements on genetic expression, offering a new and refreshing outlook in the nature versus nurture discussion. The role the environment plays is complicated and amazing. From physical attributes to behavioral traits, proneness to diseases, and beyond, this role is discussed in this video. Drawing from research by pioneers like Dr. Jirtle and Michael Skinner, we'll explore epigenetic inheritance and how the environment shapes our personality and behavioral anatomy across generations. In this video, we will dive into the captivating world where the environment and genetics converge to shape our very being, as well as into the world of epigenetics. The connection between environmental elements and genetic expression is controversial in genetics and biology. This complication is rooted in the fact that genetics as a field of study is very complicated. Even though advancements in technology have aided in the research of DNA and genes and how they interact with the environment, there is still a long way to go. However, the connection between environmental elements and genetic expression is a fact backed by research and study. An individual's environment greatly influences how their genes are formed. But what attributes can this interaction between our genes and environment impact? Well, some of them include physical qualities. These include height, eye color, hair texture, and skin pigmentation. Behavior. These include aggression, shyness, sociability, and risk-taking. Proneness to certain diseases. These include heart disease, diabetes, cancer, and autoimmune disorders. Weaknesses. These include allergies, susceptibility to infections, and metabolic disorders. Others include intelligence, personality traits, metabolism, physical fitness, longevity, cognitive abilities, emotional resilience, addiction susceptibility, and sensory perception. So, how does the environment affect the genetics of children? First, not everything in the environment can alter gene activity. You won't transform into a well-built, wall-climbing mutant from being bitten by a spider, except of course, if that spider were a genetically engineered weapon designed to transform a boring human being into a marvel. You will also not suddenly develop the ability to shoot lightning from your hands because you got struck 10 times in 10 seconds by lightning. The environmental factors that can alter genetic expression include temperature, pH levels, oxygen levels, radiation, chemical exposure, nutrient availability, stress, light exposure, pollution, microbiome, diet, exposure to poisons, stress, lifestyle decisions. Each of these environmental factors alters genetic expression in its own way. Research has found that certain dietary components modify the expression of specific genes, influencing metabolism and overall health via changes in the chromatin structure, including DNA methylation, histone modification, non-coding RNA, activation of transcription factors via signaling cascades, or direct ligand binding to nuclear receptors. In simple terms, you just might be what you eat. Also, exposure to environmental poisons and chemicals can prompt changes in gene expression, potentially increasing the risk of diseases like cancer. A perfect example is Deadpool. However, unlike Deadpool, who is practically unkillable despite having cancer, exposure to poisons and chemicals will kill any other real-life person. Additionally, chronic stress has been shown to significantly modify gene activity, affecting mental health and overall well-being. We all handle stress differently. However, some people are unfortunately prone to mental illness when exposed to stress, which is a result of the said stress affecting their genetic makeup. Finally, lifestyle behaviors like smoking, sedentary habits, and insufficient rest can also impact gene activity, contributing to the onset of various health conditions. Several studies have proved the connection between environmental elements and genetic alterations. Dr. Jirtle from Duke University demonstrated that epigenetic inheritance results from maternal diet patterns during pregnancy, which conclusively influence the offspring's expression of genes. His research is pretty interesting. Pregnant mice that were fed a diet enriched in methyl donors underwent some genetic alterations in their offspring and had an increased predisposition to specific health conditions, such as obesity and diabetes. Again, a classic example of "you are what you eat." Michael Skinner's investigation at Washington State University showed that genetic changes in individuals exposed to certain environmental toxins were observed to be transmitted across many generations. During Michael Skinner's investigation, rats exposed to the pesticide vinclozolin exhibited genetic characteristics, maintaining a high probability of cancer and infertility for several generations that followed. These changes in genes due to environmental factors are broadly studied under a field called epigenetics. So, what is epigenetics? Epigenetics is the broad term used to describe changes in gene expression without alteration in the DNA sequence. It remains an intriguing and rapidly advancing area within genetics. Epigenetics shapes gene regulation in several ways, including DNA methylation and histone modification. DNA methylation involves adding a methyl group to specific sections of DNA. It is needed to activate or deactivate genes due to various environmental signals. DNA methylation can have significant consequences for gene expression by selecting proteins that either stifle gene activity or change the three-dimensional structure of DNA. In this manner, DNA methylation serves as a mechanism for activating or deactivating genes due to various environmental signals. Histones, proteins vital for bundling DNA into chromatin, undergo various modifications like acetylation, methylation, phosphorylation, and ubiquitination. These modifications alter the compactness of DNA packaging, impacting gene expression accordingly. For example, histone acetylation is generally associated with gene activation. Note that epigenetic modifications can be reversible and depend on various environmental factors, including diet, stress, toxins, and social interactions. Let's look at 10 important aspects of epigenetics. Epigenetics offers insights into the molecular basis of complex diseases like cancer, diabetes, and neurodegenerative disorders. This makes the field an extremely important one. Breakthroughs in it will come to help us fight certain medical conditions. It helps clarify how environmental factors can influence gene expression patterns. Epigenetics has the potential to revolutionize personalized medicine by offering customized therapies that target specific epigenetic changes, improving patient outcomes. It addresses the central question of epigenetic inheritance, explaining how modifications can be passed from generation to generation. Epigenetics aids in understanding how traits are transmitted between generations and whether the environment plays a more significant role, and more importantly, the extent to which the environment is a factor. The exposure of progeny to toxins raises ethical concerns regarding epigenetic inheritance. The intricate workings of epigenetic regulation and the complexity of epigenetic markers are obstacles to understanding gene expression changes under different conditions. Epigenetics has the potential to contribute to therapies for various conditions, including cancer, mental health issues, and infectious diseases. Epigenetics provides a framework to understand how genes are maintained and regulated in response to environmental factors. Epigenetics influences disease progression by regulating gene expression in response to environmental changes. In summary, epigenetics is crucial for understanding complex diseases, environmental influences on gene expression, personalized medicine, inheritance patterns, and ethical considerations. It also plays a vital role in technological advancements, regulating genes and influencing disease progression, highlighting its significance in scientific research and clinical applications. I made a video in the past about epigenetics. You should watch it if you would like to know more about epigenetics. Understanding the interplay between environment and genetics is crucial for health and disease prevention. Want personalized mental health insights through genetics? Hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you can stay updated with the latest in genetics and psychology. You don't want to miss our next episode. See you there.